People keep asking, why does it feel like you have no rights in CPS court, but suddenly you do when you go federal? Let's decode that real quick, because the system, it runs on layers that most parents don't even know exist. First, we have to understand the environment. Criminal court runs on punishment, civil court runs on contracts, but CPS court, also called dependency or juvenile court, it runs on something completely different. It's a doctrine called parens patriae. It's Latin for the state is the parent. And once you walk into that courtroom, you're not standing there as a citizen defending your rights anymore. You are now a subject inside the state's protective role. That single doctrine, it gives the judge near total discretion. And from that point on, every right you think you have becomes conditional. Inside the structure, there are 3 different layers of rights. There are sovereign, constitutional, and procedural. Each behave differently in the courtroom code. So sovereign talk sounds like, I don't consent, I'm a natural person, or this court has no jurisdiction. The moment those words hit the record, the system flags you. Guardian or Traverse, the software that tracks the hearings, it adds a behavioral tag, C1, non-compliant, ideological, or delusional. The psych field reads it as poor insight, and the legal field reads it as irrelevant. So, the result is you've coded yourself out of credibility before the hearing even starts. The system doesn't punish you for your belief, it just stops listening. Then, you have your rights. The 4th, the 5th, the 14th Amendment, ADA protections, they still exist, but they've just been sandboxed. When you raise them in CPS court, the judge runs one override, best interest of the child. That single phrase, suspend your rights in real time. They aren't deleted, they're just quarantined until you exit juvenile jurisdiction. Think of it like your constitutional drive being mounted as read-only. Dependency court isn't criminal. It's civil, no jury, just a judge. The evidence threshold is barely 51%. Most objections are logged as preserved for appeal, which really means shelved until federal review. The courtroom becomes a simulation. You speak, it records, but the logic tree doesn't execute until you leave the program. That's why parents say it feels like talking to a wall. It's by design. Here's an example. A parent objects to a warrantless home search under the 4th Amendment. The judge overrules and says that the child's safety outweighs privacy. The case continues, the rights are suspended, and months later, after termination, that same parent files a Section 1983 civil rights suit in federal court. The federal judge agrees. The search was unconstitutional, but the child has already been adopted. You win the principle, but not the person. That's latency built into the architecture. Once the case closes, the jurisdiction flips. Now, the Constitution boots back up. You can use ADA Title II, Section 504, equal protections, and due process claims. Federal court can issue damages or reform orders, but not instant reunification. The rights reboot, but the record stays locked. The system counts on that delay to protect itself. So, here's the translation. Sovereign arguments get you flagged, constitutional rights get throttled, and CPS procedural rights keep the illusion of fairness. Inside the state court, your rights are suspended. In federal court, they reboot. The mission is to rewrite the code so due process stays live before the termination clock runs out. That's the patch that we're building. Decode the system, check the truth, live free by understanding the architecture. This is what I've been talking about all along, and there's so much more.